Good evening. Thanks for joining me again. On the news, APC ADC argue over cancellation of results of 3 federal constituency seats in Kogi. Traditional ruler murdered in Ebonyi. Protest breaks out in Asaba over polls. Elections, outgoing governors who lost senatorial bid. In Rivers, INEC official alleges threat to life at John's collation. Stay with me for this and more stories. Comrade Adaji John, the acting chairman of African Democratic Congress ADC Kogi State, has cancelled on the chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission INEC, Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, to declare the candidates of the party as the winner of Kaba Bunu Ijumu Federal Constituency seat. Comrade John made this call in Lokoja yesterday, saying that the returning officer after collation of results escaped into thin air. However, in reaction, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Kolawole Matthew, has refuted the claim by the ADC that INEC should duly sign result sheets for Kaba, Bunu, Ijumu constituency. He explained that, on the contrary, what the ADC were circulating was fake result sheet, urging ADC to approach the INEC to argue their case rather than heating up the polity with their fake results. However, he expressed optimism that he will win the supplementary election as those places cancelled due to violence were his strong base. He lamented that while Nigerians are busy praising the electoral umpire INEC for the deployment of technologies to curb irregularities, stressing that the action of Dr. Baba was more or less a fraud. The acting chairman pointed out there was cancellation in 4 polling units because of electoral violence and overvoting. He argued that if election is cancelled with the new Electoral Act, it remain cancelled. It is the responsibility of the returning officer to cancel results because it is the duty of the presiding officer. We call on Professor Mahmoud Yakubu to prevail on returning officer Dr. Ahmed Baba to declare our candidate Salman Idris the winner of Kaba, Bunu and Ijumu Federal Constituency seat. He added after collation of results counted, the ADC candidate won. The chairman of Izan North Traditional Rulers Council, His Majesty Eze Igboke Owa, has been reportedly murdered. According to report, investigations showed that the monarch was on Sunday evening shot to death by gunmen suspected to be thugs in the state. It was alleged that the traditional ruler was killed because he was not supporting a particular political party in the 2023 general elections. The victim is from the Umuezo Hoka community in the Eze North local government area of the state. The Ebonyi state government confirmed the incident on Tuesday. In a statement by the Commissioner for Information in the state, Mr. Uchenna, urged Governor David Umahi, Director Security Agencies, to move into the Ezan North Council for a rescue mission, as anybody found culpable in the murder of the monarch will be arrested. Recall that the traditional ruler sometime in 2022 escaped an assassination attempt made on his life by some assailants. The hoodlums went to his wife's shop at Ohiofa along the Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway and burnt it down. According to the commissioner, it has been brought to the attention of the governor of Ebonyi State that just this evening, Sunday, February 26, 2023, the chairman of Eza Traditional Rulers Council, His Majesty Eze Igboke Ewa, was shot dead this night by people suspected to be political thugs for not supporting a political party. Now, protest has broken out in Asaba, the Delta State capital, over the just concluded presidential and National Assembly elections. On Tuesday morning, footages making rounds on social media showed youths in their hundreds seen chanting the name of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. At least 6 outgoing governors failed in their attempts to cross over to Nigeria's Senate after their 2-term tenure of 8 years each. The outgoing governors lost the February 25th National Assembly elections in their respective senatorial districts since Nigeria's return to democracy in 1999 after years of military rule. The National Assembly, which includes the Senate and the House of Representatives, has been described as a retirement home for former governors who ride on the power of incumbency to win elections into the red and green legislative chambers. About 20 former governors were elected into the 9th National Assembly in 2019. Former governors presently in the National Assembly include Rochas Okorocha Imo, Ibikunle Omosun Ogun, Abdulaziz Yari Zamfara, Kabiru Gaya Kano, Abdullahi Adamu Nasarawa, Chimoroke Namani Enugu, Orji Kalu Abia, Gabriel Suswam of Benue, and Ibrahim Shekarau Kano, amongst others. Notably, all of them are in the race to return to the Red Chamber. Already, Governors David Umahi, Ebonyi, Abubakar Bello of Niger, and Okezi Ekpezu Abia won Saturday's parliamentary election. The results of others like Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi and Aminu Tambuwal Sokoto are yet to be announced by the electoral body. Ex-governors who won senatorial seats so far include Adams Oshomile of Edo and Godswill Akpabio of Akwa Ibom. A vocal figure of 5 agreed governors of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, known as the G5, Samuel Ortom of Benue State, lost his election bid for Benue Northwest Senatorial District in the National Assembly to his All Progressives Congress APC counterpart in the district, Titus Zam. Another member of the G5, Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu State, lost his bid to represent Enugu North Senatorial District in the National Assembly. Ugwuanyi was defeated by Okechukwu Ezia of the Labour Party in the election conducted by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, on Saturday. Another outgoing two-term PDP governor who lost his senatorial ambitions is Darius Ishaku of Taraba State. He lost his bid to represent Taraba South Senatorial District in the forthcoming 10th National Assembly. The defeat is beyond party lines as 2 APC governors also lost their senatorial bid. One of them is Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong, who is also the Director General of the All Progressives Congress APC Presidential Campaign Council, PCC. The political heavyweight and former chairman of the Northern Governors Forum lost the bid to clinch the Plateau South Senatorial District slot. He lost to Bali Ninkap Napoleon of the PDP, who scored 148,844 votes, while the governor polled 91,674 votes. The governor, Ben Ayade of Cross River, also suffered a fatal defeat in his bid to return to the Senate after completing his 8-year tenure as governor. Ayade, who was in the Senate from 2011 to 2015, had hoped to return to the role as senator representing Cross River North, but he was defeated by the incumbent Jirigbe Agom Jirigbe. PDP's Agom Jirigbe got 76,145 votes, while Ayade polled 56,595 votes. Another APC governor, Atiku Bagudu of Kebbi State, also lost his bid to represent Kebbi Central Senatorial District in the forthcoming 10th National Assembly. He lost to Senator Adamu Alero. Announcing the result in burning Kebbi State capital, the returning officer Abbas Bazata declared the PDP candidate Adamu Alero winner, having scored 126,588 votes as against Bagudu, the chairman APC Progressives Governors Forum, who scored 92,389 votes. Though results are still trickling in for the Presidential and National Assembly, surprises abound as newcomers are poised to unseat some NAS landlords who have been in the red and green chambers consistently for the past 24 years. The State Collation Officer for the presidential election, SCOPS in Rivers State, Professor Charles Adias, has adjourned the collation of results for February 25, 2023 election over an alleged threat to his life by unnamed party supporters. The official of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, who is also the Vice Chancellor of the Federal University, Otuke, announced the adjournment on Tuesday morning while addressing journalists at the State Collation Center in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Although the Commissioner of Police of the presidential election in Rivers, Aderemi Adeoye, appealed to the SCOPS to reveal the names of those threatening his life, Adias insisted that he won't proceed until the resident electoral commissioner in the state addressed some of the issues those threatening him raised, include the faulty bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. So far, results from 21 local government areas have been collated. Results are expected from 2 local government areas, Obiokpo and Degima. The 2 remaining LGAs are those of Governor Wike and Wike and his deputy Ipalibo Baningo, while Wike hails from Abiokpa. His deputy is from Degama local government area. Federal government to Obasanjo, don't truncate electoral process. The federal government has urged former President Olusegun Obasanjo not to truncate the 2023 general elections with his allegedly inciting, self-serving and provocative letter on the polls. In a statement in Abuja on Tuesday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, said what the former president cunningly framed as an appeal for caution and rectification was nothing but a calculated attempt to undermine the electoral process and a willful incitement to violence. He said, and I quote, though masquerading as an unbiased and concerned elder statesman, former President Obasanjo is a known partisan bent on thwarting by subterfuge the choice of millions of Nigerian voters, the minister said. Mohammed expressed shock and disbelief that the former president could purportedly throw around unverified claims and amplify wild allegations picked up from the streets against the electoral process. The minister accused the former president of, in his time, organizing perhaps the worst elections since Nigeria's return to democratic rule in 1999, adding that he is the least qualified to advise a president whose determined effort to leave a legacy of free, fair, credible and transparent election is well acknowledged within and outside Nigeria. As the whole nation waits with bated breath for the result of last Saturday's national elections amid unnecessary tension created by professional complaints and political justice, what is expected from a self-respecting elder statesman are words and actions that douse tension and serve as a soothing balm. Furthermore, he said instead former President Obasanjo used his unsolicited letter to insinuate or perhaps wish for an inconclusive election and a descent into anarchy, used his time to cast aspersion as electoral officials who are unable to defend themselves while surreptitiously seeking to dress his personal choice in the garb of the people's choice. This is duplicitous, he stated. The minister reiterated to the former president that organizing elections in Nigeria is no mean feat, considering that the voter population of 93,469,008 in the country is 16,742,916 more than the total number of registered voters in 14 West African nations put together. With a deployment of over 1,265,227 electoral officials, the infusion of technology to enhance the electoral process, and the logistical nightmare of sending election materials across over vast country, INEC seems to be availing itself creditably, going by the preliminary reports of the ECOWAS Electoral Observation Mission and the Commonwealth Observer Group, among other groups that observed the election. And finally, don't abort election process, observers peace panel APC says. Election observers, the National Peace Committee and the All Progressives Congress APC yesterday cautioned against any attempt to abort the process leading to the final announcement of the presidential poll results by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Their pleas followed the walkout from the INEC National Collation Center in Abuja by People's Democratic Party PDP agents. However, other opposition parties distanced themselves from the PDP's allegation of compromise against the electoral agency, urging it to continue with the announcement. The police, in a statement by the Public Relations Officer Muyiwa Adejobi, also cautioned against unguarded statements by candidates and their agents to avoid throwing the country into chaos. Former Head of State General Abdulsalami Abubakar, who leads the peace panel, urged Nigerians to remain calm as INEC continued with the announcement of results. The Commonwealth Observers Group urged aggrieved candidates to seek legal redress in court. APC Presidential Campaign Council PCC said the standard-bearer Tinubu was set for victory. The council objected to attempts by the PDP and LP to blackmail INEC to discontinue the announcement of the results. APC-PCC Special Advisor Media and Communication Mr. Dele Alike advised the opposition parties to behave honorably by accepting a looming defeat. The African Union AU and the Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS observation missions urged Nigerians to be calm and wait patiently until the announcement of the final result. It cautioned against disinformation, fake news, especially on social media platforms that will incite post-election violence. They also urged INEC to ensure credible conclusions of the electoral process. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, who is the leader of the African Union delegation, and former President Ernest Koroma of Sierra Leone, the leader of the ECOWAS delegation, presented their preliminary report on the election, Koroma urged INEC to improve on its communication to avoid any form of speculations, disinformation, and fake news. A recap of major stories says APC-ADC argue over cancellation of results of 3 federal constituency seats.